Being really hard on yourself can really hold you back in life. In this video, I'm going to go through easy ways that you can start incorporating self-compassion. You won't believe how simple these ways are and how much of a difference they can really make. So let's jump in. What is self-compassion? A simple way to think about it is treating yourself with kindness, understanding, acceptance, love, overall just having a loving relationship with yourself in general, but particularly in those hard moments. Dr. Kristen Neff, who's a researcher on self-compassion, says it includes 3 core components: mindfulness, self-kindness, and common humanity. I'm not going to go through each one. I have other videos on that if you want to check it out, but I just want to focus on practices that you can start doing as of today or tomorrow to incorporate self-compassion into your life. So the first easy practice is really setting the tone for the day. So at any moment in your morning routine, so whether you're just waking up and you're still in bed, or maybe when you're in the bathroom brushing your teeth, or just having a moment in the morning where you can kind of really stop and just pause for like a couple seconds and ask yourself, okay, how do I want to treat myself today? How do I want to handle if things don't go well or something, if I mess up, if I do mistakes, or if just life throws me a curveball? How do I want to show up to myself in those moments? How do I want to set the tone? Do I want to be kind, loving, understanding? What does that mean or look like? So kind of setting an intention or a reminder for yourself on how you want to treat yourself. Because the truth is that we can get so lost in the day-to-day and the shuffle, and that we can default to kind of our normal reactions, which if you struggle with a loud inner critic could be being really hard on yourself, beating yourself up, kind of ruminating over past mistakes, whatever that looks like. And if something sets you off that day, you can just default to that. So kind of setting the tone for your day is a very intentional act of you being aware that you're trying to practice this new skill of self-compassion. And I'm saying practice a skill because the truth is most of us didn't really know or got taught or modeled how to really embody this loving relationship with yourself. If you did, that's fantastic, and you should continue to do that with future generations. But if you're like me, most of us didn't really get that explicit training in how do you treat yourself, especially when you're prone to being really hard on yourself. So this is just a great way to start off the day. Okay, the second one is really using something in your day as an anchor and then to practice some common self-compassion mantras. So the way I really like to do this is when I'm washing my hands. So when I'm washing my hands, when I'm lathering my hands, I like to tell myself these 4 phrases. I'm going to tell you these 4 phrases first. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. So when I lather my hands, whether the water, I'm still just like focusing, I'll say to myself, may I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. I also will sometimes like to include, I'll pick a person or a couple of people to kind of add to this mantra. So I'll think about my partner and think, may he be safe. May he be happy. May he be healthy. May he live with ease. Or I'll often also think about my mom and do the same thing. You can also write in this and really think about just overall humanity, right? Or just everyone in your community. You can go as big or as small as you want. So just a great way to start to practice that embodying self-compassion, not only for yourself, but just for overall everyone else. Another reason I really like to do this one is because it's also kind of a way for me to have a moment of mindfulness, and it helps me kind of clear out the chatter, especially because when I'm on default, my mind can just be thinking about, okay, what's next, what's next, what's next, what else do I have to do? But I also like this because it's a reminder for myself, not only about how I want to treat myself, but also how I want to treat the people around me, because this can be really important, especially if I'm irritated or frustrated. Again, I can default maybe just to being short with the people around me. And this is also a great way of okay, if I'm trying to kind of send out self-compassion towards myself or my partner or my mom, I also then want to be really intentional about how I respond, and I do have control over that. Okay, the third practice is really doing a self-compassionate break. So this is really more when I'm having a moment of difficulty, right? So when something's happened and I'm having a hard time, this is when I really want to practice that. But a great way to get really skilled at doing that in those hard moments is to start to incorporate this generally. I also linked below Dr. Kristen Neff guiding you through a self-compassion break. That's the one that I most commonly send to the people that I work with, and I've used multiple times as well. So see the description below to see that link. Okay, so how you would do this is in this moment of difficulty, or if you're just practicing just to get better at it, you would kind of bring to mind a moment of difficulty, not on a 0 to 10, like a 10, something much more manageable, maybe a 5 or a 6, and really kind of give yourself a moment of silence, being in a quiet space and giving, if you want, closing your eyes, you don't have to, just maintaining kind of a soft focus. And so really starting to say to yourself, this is a moment of suffering. All human beings suffer. So then it's helpful is to really put your hand on your heart or hug yourself. One hand, I really kind of tend to just do both hands on my heart and really say to myself, may I be kind to myself here. May I just be nice to myself that this is a hard moment. I'm having a hard time, right? And you can tailor this to what works for you or your own language or what feels right to you. And then the next piece is really kind of telling yourself what you really need to hear. So like, what do you need to get through this difficult moment, whatever the struggle is? So may I forgive myself, or may I open to this moment of pain and suffering with kindness and grace? May I accept this difficult moment in my life? Whatever it is, right? Whatever would be helpful for you in that moment. And then just try to stay there a little bit longer in this moment of like peace and self-compassion towards yourself. It's also really helpful because this is also probably going to help kind of regulate your nervous system, kind of really get everything to go down a little bit and remind you that you are safe in this moment, because you're shifting this relationship that you have with yourself, which is also kind of tapping into this part of our brain, like this safety soothing mechanism that we have. Okay, comment below 1, 2, or 3. Which of these practices are you going to start to incorporate into your life, or at least just try out 1, 2, or 3. Self-compassion is so crucial for you to start to practice. If you haven't already done so, I really encourage you to start to pick one of these practices, because this is something that I encourage all the people that I work with to start to at least incorporate a little bit into your life, because it is going to make a difference. It's going to shift the relationship over time that you have with yourself, as well as shift those automatic responses when you tend to be really hard on yourself. Also going to inform the relationship you have with others, because if you can start to embody more kindness and love towards yourself, that's also going to reflect in how you treat others. If you want another resource for self-compassion, check out this video that I did on one of my favorite self-compassion books. Check it out here. And like I always say, I encourage you to continue nurturing your mind, body, and soul, whatever that looks like for you. Thanks, guys.